Well, hey everybody, welcome to Ohio Gripe.
Hello.
Hi, I'm back.
We dug him out from under the prison.
I'm finally made my way back.
We got him a spoon, and he just kind of... It took him a couple weeks, but he worked.
Spoon Man! Okay.
Oh, wait, that's a different kind of spoon.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That spoon gets hot.
Ooh. Spooning. Oh,
Whoa.
you know what? I'm going to change this, and I'm going to do it
do.
while we're recording.
So,
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. Since, we try not to be super free advertisers.
What?
What's he advertising? Oh, Pepsi hit us up. We can be great. Oh, never mind. You took it away. That was perfect. It was so well lit.
And it was, like, perfectly inconspicuous.
Yeah.
You got to get good.
Oh, now
in
it's just
in about a half an inch.
Now it's just PSI.
Oh, whoop, there
we
you
go.
That's
There we
perfect.
PSI.
Oh, my Lord.
I'm going to move this again just because I think it's hilarious, and I'm moving it while we're recording.
Well, listen, sometimes you're just going to move stuff.
There we go.
You can put it right there
there.
on my computer.
All right.
Look at that.
All right. I'm sorry, peeps.
All right, we're here. Yay.
It's another episode.
After the last one.
Or actually, since I can't spell, I have to say words the way they actually look. So it would be episode. Episode.
Did you have an episode?
Yeah. Like I memorized general by saying Jenny Rao.
Okay. I don't know that Jenny had to do it, but okay. What in the world are you doing over here?
I'm trying to, because the way this laptop's set up, you can mute. I thought you could mute the trackpad because it's literally just vibrations. Like, it's not an actual click. So I was trying to figure out if I can mute it so that way you're not hearing that the whole time.
We can hear it.
You can barely hear it, though.
Okay.
And our audience is used to.
Yeah, they're used to my keys
Yeah.
when I type sounding like
Google this.
Shooting across the. I don't know why it's so loud.
It's just.
It's a hollow table.
Yeah.
Well, that and I do pound on keys a little.
I was going to say, you pound quite well.
Yeah, listen, I can send references if needed.
That's bold. I don't think I could say that.
Really? Oh,
No.
Shit. I got a couple just for this weekend.
Oh, man.
All right.
Anyways.
I'm going to try to scoot up without farting.
That was perfect. In the corner of my eye, I just see him move and I hear it. That was perfect.
Okay.
All right, well, now that we're done being silly.
I hope not.
Oh, wow. More air. More air. Go get in. More air.
Well, I love that fan because it actually is silent.
It is pretty quiet.
And it moves a lot.
I know.
Decent about it. Wow.
Yes. No, I know
English is
exactly
tough.
what you're saying.
English
Yeah.
is tough.
You don't, but I do. Those are from Amazon. They're Chinese, and some of them have actual names, and some of them don't.
Listen, all Chinese people have
Cooper.
names.
No, I meant the fan, the company. Like that one has a
oh.
name written on it, but the other one doesn't. And
I thought you meant only some Chinese folks
I'm telling
have
you,
names.
they're like 80. They're like 60 to 80 bucks. I can't remember, and they're worth it because they're quiet as hell. They got a remote to them. You can just stick them in the corner room and turn it on. And of course, the way our dogs fart, believe me, they're on all the time.
You need to move that
You're
air.
the one that
Yeah.
we're buying fart dogs.
I can't help it. We're still trying to figure out what it is because we changed their food. Right now, we're thinking it's their treats that they get.
Okay, what do you give them for treats?
Well, they get. There's this company called Full Moon, and they
Yep.
make dehydrated like chicken,
Yep, that's what
like
we
chicken
yep.
jerky,
That's what Poppy gets.
and that's the only thing left. It's the only because yeah.
So here's what we're going to do because dog treats are so expensive, and that's what we give our dog too. We're thinking about just starting a sliced chicken and throw it in the smoker and just leaving it set overnight.
Make like a
Just-
jerky, pretty much.
It's what it makes. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
basically chicken jerky.
I used to do that. I used to do that with. I would take a pork loin and I'd cut it into bricks like this, and then I'd use my meat slicer.
Yep.
And then I'd dehydrate it. But you'd be amazed at how much time it takes. And there was a time there
Yeah.
when I couldn't sleep. Everything was happening, so I quit doing it.
See, I was thinking about buying a dehydrator just for that because, like I said, I like jerky. I can make jerky, no big deal. But I mean, it'd be nice to make the dog treats too because they're expensive. They're like $20 a bag.
Yeah. Yeah, I know they're
What are
expensive.
you giggling about over here?
And if you buy if you don't count in the electricity, you can buy a pork loin for $14
Yep.
and then dehydrate the whole thing. But I didn't want to give them all that fat, so I used to trim it.
Yeah.
And by the time you do that, like I said, it's just time consuming, and I didn't have any time, and they still farted. even when we were given the pork treats. That's why I thought it was the pork.
See, I think maybe the problem is you just got fart machines.
I know. And we take them to the vet, and all the vet does is give them probiotics, which I don't believe does anything.
Well, see, we got to get probiotics for their dog because if not, she has like stomach issues and she gets ear infections and infections in her paws. She's always, oh my gosh. I guess that's a thing.
I believe that probiotics don't work unless you kill the bacteria that's in there first.
Well, there has to be some bacteria in there.
No. My point is that you get like the wrong bacteria,
Yes.
and then it breaks the food down improperly. But if you just add probiotics, the tube is already populated. So I thoroughly believe you have to take an antibiotic and kill all the bacteria, and then you can start with the probiotics to repopulate it with the right one. Otherwise, I have never known probiotics, whether it's humans or dogs, to do any good whatsoever.
I know they make you feel like crap when you first start taking them as a human.
Yeah.
Because it just messes with your internal system.
It does, man. You get like the worst runs for like a week. Or not a week, a couple of days.
And you just have just stomach discomfort.
Yeah. Bloating.
What?
Sorry, my ear was itching. Sometimes ears just tap on it. Okay.
All right, what do you
The reason I was laughing was because I took a drink of the pop, I set it back down,
Yeah, you almost
and I went
spilled it.
like this to like show it off. You know, Pepsi hit us up,
Except for
but and I almost
You need to
spilled it.
work on your wraparound.
Yeah, you got a little crooked now.
You need to practice
You can
that.
see that. Nope, there you go, right there. That's the way it's gotta be.
I'm sure. Sorry, I still have an itch.
But now I'm kind of looking things up, and I'm starting to laugh about them because I forgot today is April Fool's Day.
See, then wait, if we're
Oh,
gonna do that,
shit.
So I'm currently looking up the best companies like ads for April Fool's Day. So now I'm kind of like looking at these, and it's kind of funny.
There, I'll
I'm
just
sure
do
someone
this.
will
All right,
find
this is the remote to the fan. That
there you go. Now we're advertising everybody.
No.
Oh, damn it, Jim.
I'm not good at wraparounds. Pinky time. There we go.
Whoa, piggy time. Hang on. That's not very nice.
Okay.
so
I forgot it was April Fool's.
It is April Fool's.
I would have set something up.
Like this one says Tropicana, chew your sunshine, 100% orange pulp. All pulp.
You'd like
Chew your sunshine.
Might as well just eat the orange. Oh, wait.
taste the rainbow.
Ho. Oh, my. So, anyway.
Oh, ow.
Watch that table jump out in front of you. You about done with your silliness?
Yeah. I'm just looking.
What are we going to talk about, peeps?
I don't know. Oh, listen. Here's something we can talk about.
Talk about clearing our throat before we hit record.
We got this guy here and his buddies and his woo 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 shit.
Where did that
They
come
told.
from?
All right, so it's a wrestler. It's. Sorry, I'm speaking loud. I see you
That's
turning
all
me
right.
down.
That's all right. I can turn it down.
So it's a wrestler. It's a wrestling thing. His name's Zack Ryder, and that's like his thing. He just says that. Yeah, they told me about that.
So they're running around screaming it all day, and finally this kid rolls up, and I'm like, "Yo, man." He's like, "What?" I said, "What the fuck is up with this woo woo shit?" And he just about fell off his truck laughing.
The thing about me is every time they do it, all I think about is that song. Boo boo boo! Everybody say well, boo boo boo. So I'm just like, is that what they're doing?
No,
And then I
it's-
realize that I don't care, and I go back to work.
But it was driving me and the trainee the other day nuts, and I'm like, "What the hell is it?" She's like, "I don't know." I'm like, "That's not like some young TikTok thing that you can tell me about." She's like, "No, I don't know what the
How
hell
old
that
is she?
Oh, I don't know. She's probably in her
27, I think.
something like that.
There, I thought. Never mind.
Yeah, because she's almost 30.
So she's pretty close to
Yeah,
30.
because she keeps crying that she's going to turn 30
Listen.
and her whole life is going to be over.
I have 3 years, and it's creeping, and I don't like it.
It's no big deal. 30s is just 20s.
Yeah, but it just went by way too fast. I remember when
Wait
I
till
turned
you get
20.
to your 30s.
I was gonna say I remember when I was 30, and now I'm almost fucking 52.
I know.
Like-
It just
I didn't even do anything for my 21st birthday. I literally went and bought a 6-pack of beer from a gas station. They didn't even ID me, and it made me sad. And I went home, drank like 2 beers, went to bed, and went to work the next morning. Like, that's what I did for my 21st birthday.
Well, we ain't gonna discuss what I did for my 21st birthday.
Did
But
you
that's
ha-
what you're supposed to do. You know, you're supposed to go out, have fun. You know, you're finally able to do that kind of stuff. And no, I just went out and bought beer that I didn't even get ID'd for.
my 21st was extremely sad. My brother took me out to a bar that was within walking distance of his apartment, and he got completely destroyed, and I was almost completely sober. So
You got to take care of him.
yeah, I had to pull
Pull his hair
over.
while
I had to
he-
pull over. Yeah, we drove. And he's like, I gotta throw up, and then pull over, and he's harfing out the side of my car.
Was that your little Pinto?
No, what car was that? I think that was my Monza.
Monza's better than a Pinto.
Huh?
The Monza's nicer than a Pinto.
Yeah, actually it was. Had a sunroof. That car was kind of fun, but it got rear-ended. And I didn't have any money to put it back
I was gonna
together
say,
again.
that makes it not so nice.
So Humpty Dumpty just
The only
did not
thing-
get put back together.
Yeah, the only thing
Absolutely
that irked me about the Monza was the one I had a V6 in it, and it must have had a flywheel that weighed as much as a building because that thing was it spooled up so slowly.
See now, when I was in high school,
Revved up, sorry, spooled up.
my girlfriend at the time had a 4-cylinder Mustang 5-speed. In first and second gear, that thing had all kinds of power. You hit third gear, and that thing just puked on itself.
Yeah, yeah.
It was just geared so horribly. First and second were nice. Now when you hit third, it was like brrr.
Mine was nice. It had the wrong engine. It was purple, and it had the Spider on the hood. It was a Spider edition, but it had a V6. It was stick shift, and it was fun, but
If you'd
it
come to
had
see me,
no balls
we could have
whatsoever.
put a nice big motor in it and see how fast we make that son bitch go.
Believe me, I wish I can get another one because I think they're neat-looking cars. It was
They are neat looking cars.
1980 Chevy Monza Spider.
I had an 81 El Camino, and I would love to have another one of those. I miss my El Camino.
The only problem with the El Caminos is a lot of them had 305s, and I believe the 305 was just a dog engine. Ran
Hey.
forever. It ran forever,
It
but
had that
My-
one
my-
cam logo always went bad.
My first truck I had a 305 in it. I loved it.
yes, it was a reliable engine. But if you tried to make them fast, they just
Oh,
for some
yeah.
reason they just couldn't do it.
Yeah, definitely not
You had to have
fast.
the 350, and I'm not saying the difference was the cubic inch. There was just something about that 305 that just couldn't get it done.
327.
Speed-wise.
Power,
yes,
though. It had
yes,
a lot of power.
Yes, it had great power, and it was bulletproof. But if you tried to make them fast, they just couldn't do it, and it was so strange to me.
I think the top speed on my truck was 100 miles an hour.
I was just saying,
I think that's the highest it
Yeah,
could
I hate
go.
to tell you, but I wouldn't even go 100 miles an
No.
hour in a
Yeah.
pickup truck, even a modern pickup
No.
truck.
I had like a 98 Chevy 1500 WT model, and it had a sensor on it. It turned the fuel off on 105 miles an hour.
I was
The
to say
only
mine
reason
was.
I found that out some guy in a Probe GT was thinking he was cool, and I blew him off the street till I hit 105, and it shut off. I'm like, "Urgh," and then he went, and I was like, son of a
I
bitch.
was to say mine was. I'm pretty sure a 1990 K1500 pickup.
Every time I tried to race someone, something crazy happened, and I got in a wreck.
Okay,
I'm not joking, dude. Like
Yeah.
every time.
Here's the greatest street racing story when I was a kid. I was like 17, and I had a bright orange Oldsmobile Omega. It was the same color as a Sunkist pop truck. And I'm down here in Maslin, and I'm coming out in a VAR going towards Maslin on 21. And where that light is, right before you get to that last spot where you shoot across there, this guy in this older Cutlass is sitting next to me. I'm like, okay, man, when the light turns green. The light turns green, he takes off like a son of a bitch, and I just pull off because he didn't see the cop sitting behind me.
Oh,
It did not end well for him.
see, that's what I'm saying. Things work out really cool for you, but they always blow up on my face. Just this weekend. All right, how well do you guys know Dressler? And when you get to Fulton,
Okay.
there's it's 2 lanes, and then it merges.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'm in the correct lane, and this guy in a Nissan Xterra pulls up beside me.
And decides he wants to go your
And
way.
he's going to get in front of me. And I'm thinking, dude, this van has a lot in first gear, right? So I'm thinking, light turns green, I'm just going to gun it, and then we'll see who's got, even though I have 3 people in this car. Yeah, well, mine just spun out. It just spun like crazy. And he said, I'm like, oh, you lucky bitch.
Oh my! We had one of them. On the way to work the other day, like I think it was Friday. I was going to work, and I was on 30, going to go 77 south. You know how it kind of comes apart there, and then this dude's on 30, and he comes. All I see is this streak, and I go like this, and I see this Ford F-150 come through the marbles. The 2, I guess, left side tires of his car go where the pavement ends, and it, like the gravel, and it goes down to the grass. Hits that. The back of the truck goes flying up in the air, and I'm like, look, dude, if you're gonna kill yourself, don't freaking do it in front of me. What the hell is wrong with you?
I don't want to watch you do it.
Well, no, because he's going to crash me, too. And that's where that bridge is at. It's like 45, 50 feet down to the ground.
Yeah. That's what I mean about pickup trucks. I mean, I don't understand I don't understand when it started to where people think that pickup trucks,
Or race cars.
right, because even though they have some power, because they're meant to haul, even if you get them going fast, the very design of them, it is so unsafe at those speeds.
They're too
All of
heavy.
the weight is on the front
For the
tires.
tire, yeah, that's what sucks. Yeah.
And if you're got a trailer and you think you're fast, you're retarded. Like, literally, I ate paint chips as a
We're not
child.
allowed to say that word.
I'm saying it. and you get all these guys who go out there and I'll race everybody in my Ram. Then you're a moron.
Why's it got to be a Ram?
Because I'm just saying. Ram, F-150,
There you
Silverado.
go. Now, can I ask you this? Is it just me, or is every a-hole in a pickup truck in an F-150?
No.
Or is it just me?
No, the Rams are just as bad. Chevys seem to be a little better.
I've
and
never had an issue with
the
anybody,
worst.
but that F-150, it's always some idiot F-150 doing something.
There's a lot of them because Ram and F-150 have the whole country lifestyle thing going on, and they're super competitive.
Who do you think's the worst? Because I have one that
The worst is GMC by far.
I think Toyotas.
No,
Toyotas
You get
are
the
bad
TRD
too.
Tacomas and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Man, them guys are
I don't know.
assholes.
In my
Some of them.
experience, the GMCs are by far the
Yeah,
worst.
'cause
They're like they think they're elite over the
Well, here's the problem,
Silverados.
because the GMC guys, they're not just buying Sierras. Most of them are probably the people in the Denali, which is the super high-end
Yeah.
version.
And they
So
have
do
something to
think
prove.
they think they are better. Which, if I ever win the lottery, I will be driving one because they are sweet.
So you'd be one of those dickheads.
I don't know if I'd be a dickhead, but I would definitely drive a dickhead car.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get it. I don't, like I said, the GMCs, I always, whenever I see someone driving just dumb or like arrogantly, it's always a GMC or a Honda.
See, well, I'm talking just straight pickup trucks. There's always a guy in an F-150.
Yeah. No, you're right. Because like I said, they're all in competition. My F-150 is better than your Ram, and my Ram is better than your Silverado, and it's all just stupid football fans.
Well, see, I said something to my roommate about it. I'm like, dude, is it just me, or is
you notice the football fans are the guys who get in fights at like Little League games.
Well,
Because they're so unhealthy with their level of competition. They just don't know how to handle
like
it.
a month and a half ago, I said something to my roommate. I'm like, is it just me, or is every asshole in the pickup drive an F-150? And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, every time somebody does something stupid, you're like, that guy's a fucking idiot. They're driving an F-150 if they're in a truck. He's like, get out of here. Like 3 weeks later, he goes, you know what? You're right. And I'm like, yeah, I know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they're bad. I still think the
sad
GMCs
part
are
is-
worse, but they're bad.
Guess what he drives?
F-150.
He's got an F-150 and a Cadillac.
But there's a difference, though. See, I always say this. Like when I make fun of Honda drivers, I'm not making fun of anybody who owns a Honda. I'm making fun of the guy who says, oh, we need a new car. We're going to go to the Honda dealership because it's the only car worth buying. Those are the Honda drivers.
Yeah.
They prefer Hondas. They only own Hondas. And they drive horrible. They have completely overtaken BMW and Audi drivers.
What about Toyota drivers?
I've never noticed anything bad about. I mean, there's always an exception. There's always Toyota drivers that will be stupid and they just happen to have a Toyota.
Okay, now, the ones you
I'm
have to
talking the
scream
majority of them.
Yeah.
the ones you have to scream at to get the hell out of the way, Subaru.
Prius.
Well, yeah, but that's not
That
their
thing
fault.
won't go that fast. But yeah, no, everybody in a Subi's
Subaru.
like, and they're
Yeah.
scared to death over in the right hand.
Well, they all have, they have soup can mufflers and like 2,500 pounds of extra plastic they bolted to the side of it, and then
Well, I'm
they
not
do it
talking
20
about-
miles an hour.
Well, the WRX guys are different, but I'm talking about like the guys that are driving the Foresters. And they're always dudes off on the side, driving
Yeah.
real slow,
Yeah.
scared. They look like they're 185 years old and should have died 50 years ago.
Damn.
I know that's mean, but I mean, let's think about it. Let's be honest.
I tell you what, if you really want an experience, buy a minivan and
Had
just
one.
go for a drive.
Had one.
Yep. The most evil people on earth will end up behind you, and no matter how fast you're going,
Yep.
you need to be bazookaed off the road. It's like I had this Volvo that was so close to me, I couldn't see what kind of. All I saw was the person. My rear view mirror started at the bottom of their windshield. They were so close.
Yeah.
And I was doing like 5-10 over the speed limit, and finally the road got into 2 lanes, and she floored it. And of course I gave it a little gas because I have to be that much of an asshole. And she had to absolutely, I could hear her over my stereo. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Strangling that hand.
She got around me and like threw it in front of me so hard that she actually lost control a little bit. And I know this woman shit her pants.
Oh, probably.
And I'm like, I forgot to tell you, she's honking her horn the whole time she's behind me. Dude, she was furious, and I was not driving slow.
So I have a funny minivan story that happened just the other night. So I give people a ride, and I was dropping them off after work. I was
woo
leaving.
woo guy is who he's driving.
Yeah. So I dropped one of them off. They live in Canal Fulton, right off of Akron, where I said I passed you at. I was leaving his house, and there was this white minivan. It might have been you. I'm just kidding. No, it was 2:00 in the morning. Anyways, so they were going super slow, like probably like 30 and a 50 45, and I ended up passing them on a double yellow, which I know you're not supposed to do. But you're going that slow, I'm passing you.
Right.
So I pass him. This dude ends up throwing his brights on, comes up and finally rides my ass. I'm going 70 at this point. I'm like, oh, so now you get your gas going.
That's when you
They
stand on the
followed me
brakes.
all the way from Akron Avenue or whatever it is to 21, and then finally I lost them.
Wait a minute. Where are you going from there? Are you going home?
I take the woo guy. I take him home. He lives over by the high school.
Oh.
So I kind of
I was gonna say,
backtrack
you're
a little
going
bit.
the wrong
Okay, so
direction to go.
This is my theory on
I'm
that.
like,
A lot of guys, with the exception of me, because I actually love my van, but most guys who drive in minivans
hate them.
have the tiny penis, my life has gone the wrong way kind of syndrome
yeah.
going.
No, they're just angry because every dollar they make is spent for Dora the Explorer shit.
Maybe. Maybe.
Soccer stuff.
But
Yeah.
if they're, but my point is, if
He
they're
wants to
stuck,
buy a Glock and he has to buy 18 fucking video games instead.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's angry. I get it.
Let it out.
I'm trying, but they're just mad because they're in a minivan.
Yeah.
And they're not in their truck or their race car. So they have this chip on their shoulder. I'm not like that. I have a nice car that I could be driving. But I choose my minivan because it's got a great stereo. And
Yeah.
my racing days are done.
Yeah.
I got that out. So
I just don't understand like why he got so angry. I get
because
it. I
he's,
double
he's a
passed.
child. He's a man child.
I was gonna say I get it. I passed on a double yellow, but like
The other thing
really?
you gotta remember where you're at, you can't do that shit. That's Lawrence Township. Them cops out there do not play. They literally pulled me over like 3-4 weeks ago. I think it was. The old lady's car needed brakes, so I was taking it to her to work, and then I was going to go get the brakes done. I didn't completely stop at a stop sign because
Yeah.
the brakes are going. And this cop pulls me over. He's like, you're all through that stop sign? Yeah, genius. I was driving. I do. He goes, let me just check all your stuff and everything's fine. I'll let you go. And I'm like, then why did you pull me over, asshole? Don't you just, if you don't fucking
He was
care.
hoping
Looking for a
you'd
reason.
have like drugs or guns.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
if you don't care, you don't care, man. Leave me alone.
That's when you need like a fake wig that's in your center console. You can.
But yeah, so that
I'm
was
just a good little white boy. Yeah,
that was an
fake boobs.
experience.
He'd
Then-
probably like. I can't make fun. I can't make fun. How you doing, ma'am, sir?
But the other thing I was going to tell you too, like me and the girl, we travel around on the weekends a little bit, like not like real far, but she has that like dark, deep charcoal gray Cherokee. And the thing that we have issues with, even doesn't matter which one of us is driving, if we're on the freeway and we're in the slower lane and somebody in front of us is going, say, 65 and we're going 70, as soon as I pull out in the other lane and get next to them, they're going 70, 72 miles an hour. I'm like, and then you get behind them and then they slow back
Yeah.
down and then you try to go
Yeah.
and then they speed back. And I'm just like, and she's like, what? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know.
My dad used to say that years ago about jack wagons, which is what he calls minivans.
Jack wagons?
Yeah,
Jack wagons.
he used to say they'll do 100 miles an hour to stay on your ass, but if they get in front of you, they won't go over 30.
Yep, that's about right.
That's
I don't
pretty much
do
what that guy was doing.
I don't do that.
See, but that's what I'm saying. I don't understand. And it's all different kinds of cars. They go below the speed limit. Then when you try and go around them, then they
Yeah.
speed up. Like, oh my gosh, I'm not
They're
going
so
fast
offended.
enough.
They're so offended you're going around them. I have no problem. Now, I'll admit that I kind of have fun with it. If someone tries to pass me, I may try to, woohoo, let's do
Oh,
this.
yeah.
But it's all out of fun. I'm never offended.
yeah.
Well,
I would rather someone pass me and get the situation over with than to sit behind me and flash their brights and expect me to get out of their way because their time is more important.
Yeah.
well, see,
If
to me,
if you blow past me, fine, cool. You can go your own speed and so can I.
I just usually go like 3 or 4 mile an hour to the speed limit and turn the cruise control on and just let it ride.
Yeah.
Because we're coming from Cleveland or wherever the heck we were that day. And if you're going 40 minutes, you might as well use the cruise control. Just let it drive.
Sure.
And I don't understand why people get so stupid
Yeah.
about the fact that I'm going 8 mile an hour faster than you. I don't understand. And then they get
And
mad
you're
when
not
you go
though.
around 'em.
If they're on your ass, you're doing the same
No,
speed.
I'm talking about the people you come up on, and when you try
Oh.
and pass them, then they speed up and
Yeah,
drive right next to you, so you can't get back over it. And
Well,
it's like,
that's what I do, but I'm usually smiling when I do it.
Yeah, but
I just try to fuck with people.
so you are in every single car on the
No,
highway?
no, but I'm saying that I can be that asshole sometimes
When
because
we
I'm
came
just
back from
having fun.
Cincinnati, I had it happen like 50 times. And she just was like, this is ridiculous. And I'm like, I don't understand why people are like this.
I know we're a nation of. My mother says it right. We're a nation of teenagers. We're an entire nation that never grew up. We just stopped at like 14 mentally.
I don't know. I just don't, like, even like, I don't know. We shouldn't talk about that because we talking about work, but it's the same way at work. It is. I mean, all the young people
I
are
wouldn't
like,
know.
just, do your job. And they're like, and I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? I mean,
Yeah, that's why you don't stop. They want to act like that. They want to act like you're not good enough to talk to them. You just keep going.
well, I don't know. They stop me all the time because they ask me questions because of my vest. And it's like,
Are you talking about the supervisors or the employees?
No, both.
Oh, because the
Because
supervisors.
they both stop me all the time now, too.
Yeah.
Chevis stops me at least 3 or 4 times.
By the way,
a day.
me-
Hey, my guy. Hey, my guy. Hey, my guy.
Me and the trainee has proven that he was after you because once she started training with me, Chavez never showed up.
Really? That's interesting because he never, ever showed up anytime when I was training anybody. When I was training her, it was at least twice a day.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Either that or he knows that I won't talk to him. I'll just. What do
Well,
you
that
need?
could
Why
be
are you here?
That could be.
I'll just. Dan, need to take care of this.
See, I don't think he likes me because every time I go see him, I'm complaining about something
Well, sure,
that
because
isn't right.
his department sucks.
Well, that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm on the safety committee. When there's stuff that's not safe and he's the safety guy,
Yeah.
guess who I'm going to complain to?
Absolutely.
Cody's the same way, but Cody actually takes it pretty good because he's actually the main safety guy and Chevis is number 2. But sometimes Cody's hard to find because he's got a lot going on running in that department. I don't know if anybody realizes how much shit that poor guy goes through. Whew. So I usually just find Chevis because he's never doing anything but sitting around playing with his wiener.
Cody kind of got thrown into it because if you remember, like when he started, he only had like a week to train with.
Well, same thing with Randy.
Yeah, Randy was the same way. Yeah.
Yeah, when Randy started that department, he was still training, so he had to train and teach at the same time.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear about
No.
the one supervisor? I don't want to name drop too much.
Yeah.
Oh, SW?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
Well, I found out all kinds of neat information about old SW.
I've been hearing way too many different things.
Well, I read a news article from 2018 where old SW was overdosed on heroin in a car, and a cop walked and went, "You all right?" "No, I overdosed." Was the exact words the fellow was on.
Yeah, it was in the police report.
I'm like, what?
Now, I'm all for letting people start over, but I don't think he's learned his lesson
I
yet.
don't think so either.
I think I don't know if he's doing the big H, but I know that
I don't know yet.
he won't leave the alcohol
Yeah,
alone.
he's definitely a drinker, but I don't know.
I mean, I try not to judge. It's your body, it's your lifestyle, but when you're drunk at work.
See, but here's the thing, though. Like with him, like if I would just talk to him about regular stuff, no issues ever, dude. He was actually was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But work stuff, dude, he would micromanage. And I'm like, dude, I've been doing this 29 years. You don't have to watch me like I'm 12. You really don't. Tell me what you want done and get the hell out of the way.
I think it's because he was covering. He was trying to be the perfect supervisor to cover the fact that he came in there hungover and he came in there drunk.
Yeah. Well,
He wanted to be so good at his job that they wouldn't fire him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was covering some stuff up, and I think that's what got him in trouble.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I wish the guy luck. I hope he gets himself straightened out because he is a nice guy.
He is a very nice guy.
And if he wanted to go get a beer after work, I'd probably do it until I saw him get shit-faced. And then I'd be like, I'm going to go to the bathroom and then sneak out the back door.
He'd be like the girl in, what was it, Big Bang Theory, when she says she's going to the bathroom, she crawls out the window.
Yeah, that's me. If you can't control yourself, I find a way out.
Oh, my.
There's been a lot of stuff going on. It's just weird.
Yeah, there's been a lot of weird stuff happening. I'll give you that. Like Dan, I feel bad for him coming in and having to train somebody and then still stay for his shift.
Oh, dude.
What the hell
He's
is
working,
that?
13, 14 hours a day?
No, 16 to 20. He comes in at like noon and
man.
leaves at like 2. Or sometimes he comes in at 10 and leaves at
I was going
midnight.
to say, I thought one day he came in at 9 and left at midnight.
Yeah, after our lunch. So it was probably 20 after 12 when he left.
Well, I mean, I wish Dan all the luck in the world. He's a super, super great supervisor.
He is.
Knows people. He knows how to get the job done. But the company he works for, I just can't do it anymore.
He's very adaptive is what makes Dan a very good supervisor.
He knows when to put hands on and he knows when to get back off.
And, exactly. And I think he just is very good at adapting to people and who they are and how they react to stuff. Like, he got all crazy with me one day, and I got pissed off, and we started screaming at each other. And you know what? He's never, ever, anytime we have a problem, he's like, hey, man, can you, yeah, okay, no problem. And nothing.
Yeah, he doesn't hold a grudge.
Yeah, I guess he just adapts to people very well.
In all the years that I have been working, there's 3 supervisors that I think are just amazing at what they do. Toby Sims, Ryan Budrow, and Dan Davey.
Yeah,
They're just awesome at with people and getting the job done.
We love you, Dan.
Yeah. I feel bad
That's
for him.
If you watch.
That's
I
awkward.
was going to say, yeah. I feel bad for him sometimes because some of the stuff that I do, and I'm like, Dan, hey, I did this. And he's like, shit. I'm like, yeah, I know you're going to hear shit. He goes, yeah, I'm going to hear shit anyway.
Well,
I'm like, okay, cool.
Like,
should-
flat out, I think, because, like, Dan, how he was talking about going to Arkansas or North Carolina when that happens.
Yeah.
Whenever that happens, that shipping department disappears.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Guarantee it. I won't
yeah.
work. I won't work there anymore.
Well, what
Yeah.
gets me is, and like, I don't know if you guys pay attention, but when they're talking about stuff, they said that our department was like 3rd or 4th in the whole network.
No, it was first.
And we're not even supposed to be on the friggin' board.
Yeah.
And our department on our shift is like the 1st or 2nd or 3rd every month.
Yeah.
And we're
With
in Minnesota.
half the staff.
And right, and we have like what, 8, 9 people, and most of them have 12 to 14. I don't understand it.
Yeah. That's Dan.
And it was funny because when we were talking about it, about us like hiring more people,
Oh yeah,
he's like, they won't do it, and we were all like, why? And he's like, well, because we do too good. And he's like, so like, what do we have to do to get more people? And he's like,
We have to suck.
We have to do bad. And he's like, I'm not going to let that happen though.
Yeah,
It's like, well, damn.
Yeah, the only problem with that is they're running they're running you guys ragged.
Yeah. Are you still turning me down? you might as well just
screaming.
No,
just meet me.
I'm controlling it.
Just meet me.
But yeah, I don't know. Like the other day when that pallet fell apart and that girl's like, I didn't do that. I staked my shit. I said, are you saying I fucking knocked it over just to make you look bad?
Yeah.
What the hell is wrong with you? And Dan's like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Everything is wrong.
All right, so now we're
All
in
you
trouble
should
for
have
talking
said is,
about
hey,
work.
where's the wrap? And I wouldn't have fell.
Well,
But
that-
anyways, all right,
we
we got to
can't
stop
be honest.
talking
Yes,
about work.
Yeah, we're going to get on it. Anyway, so what else are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about, what is it that you went to prison for that you had to dig your way out there, Matthew? Did your wife beat you up again?
He's not married.
Well, girlfriend. He lives with
Okay.
her. They might as well be married. They live together, for crying out loud. See how he's not talking? That means his wife beat
No,
him
he's
up
trying to think of something.
again.
I don't know. They just took me.
They just took you.
Yeah. I guess, they
He
pulled
got
me
caught,
over.
He got caught not wearing a mask at a football game.
I got caught, with illegal weapons.
Illegal weapons. Oh, by the way, I was
Oh
told
my!
that's something else we should discuss. I was told my new knife is illegal by a cop.
Oh well,
Or a
what does he
retired
know?
cop. And I told him, no, it's not. I said, it's an assisted open knife. It doesn't spring back. It just opens like that.
Oh, yeah.
I love my new knife. It's fun. It
I
scares
remember.
people.
I remember one time I was carrying because I used to carry knives. What the hell was that?
The fuck was that?
Oh, your
Apparently,
phone.
my
Your
fat
phone.
ass. Oh,
Your
I was
phone.
like, I thought I broke Mark's chair. I'm like, what the heck?
But I got pulled over, and I used to carry a knife with me because I would always have the ones that have the window breaker, the seatbelt cutter, and then
Yeah.
the knife.
That's what mine's got.
And what is
Because
the
driving
legal-
into a lake is something you do often.
Well, you never
Listen,
know.
You never know when you need a knife.
But and what's the legal limit? Like 6 inches blade?
I don't know.
That.
It's something like that. This cop pulled me over, and he's like, "What's that?" Because I used to keep it in my cup holder.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have had it there, but he's like, "So what's that?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's a knife." I was like, "He's like, what do you use it for?" And I'm like, "I keep it on me for safety."
I use it for cutting cheese.
Yes.
I just said safety. I literally just said, it has a window breaker, has a seatbelt cutter, and I was like, I just keep it there for
What you
just
should
in
have said
case.
is, I use it to dissect pigs that mess with me.
And he's like, "Oh, well, that's not legal," and blah blah blah. And then I'm like, "It is. It was only like a 4-inch blade. It was super small."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, you're not allowed to have those." And I'm like, "Dude, stop. Just stop."
Yeah.
Well,
And ever since then, I just never carried a knife with me anymore. I was like, I'm not dealing with that.
I had a guy,
Just put it in your pocket.
a small town cop, one time tell me I was working construction and I had my tool belt laying on the front seat, and he said that was illegal. It had to be in the back because the hammer would be considered an extension of the hand. And I'm
hammer?
like, Yeah.
What the fuck?
He said it has to be out of reach because you can get a hold of it there, and that would be considered an extension of a hand. Therefore, it's a weapon. And I'm
Oh
like,
my god.
you're kind of stretching there a little bit, aren't you, Slim? I mean, Jesus.
So if I pull my pants down, are you going to arrest me?
Is that an extension of the hand?
That'd be an extension of your hand, big boy.
That could be a pickup line. You want to see the extension of my hand?
That's the same reason you can't carry a pool stick onto an airplane. You have to put it in luggage. It's considered an extension of the hand, and you can hit the stewardess with it.
Listen here. Bah!
I want
Little
more than
dish.
half a ginger ale.
I said I want 3 doubles, not 2.
Yeah.
I've never flown, and I'm kind of scared too, because like there's all these
Well, you wanna wait.
rules.
The whole thing is so messed up right now. They treat you like shit. The planes are sardine cans. You know, it's
Well, that's not
flying
gonna change.
in and of itself is fine. But right now, the customer service in American Airlines is not just American. I'm sorry, like all of
American.
Yeah, all the American airlines is just piss poor.
Like it just
The whole industry.
Yeah. My daughter's flight was delayed, I think, 2 hours last night, but she still had to do the boarding at the same time.
Yes.
So she had to go through the TSA
TSA.
at the same time, but the plane was 2 hours late, so she just had to sit there.
sit there and
We weren't allowed to go in with her, which is a huge problem, but still, it's just like
Did she fly to Canton or Cleveland?
Akron, Canton.
Just Canton or Akron.
Canton, Cleveland.
Both.
That's what I meant.
It depends on what side of the airport you're on.
Right.
Yes. And actually, it'd be green in Akron, not Canton.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
just the whole thing. Like I said, if we were going on vacation, man, I'd really seriously consider driving.
Like, so me being a person that vapes, you know, like I was looking at rules and regulations because I was going to fly to Florida when we went the last time. But you have to like, anything with batteries has to be on a carry-on. You have to keep everything separated
Yep.
and all this and that. And I'm like,
They stopped her for a bottle of water
Yep.
when she was boarding in Wisconsin, in Wisconsin.
It was over 3.2 ounces
Yep.
or whatever.
Yep.
that's crazy.
It's a
There's so
bottle of
many
water.
rules.
When was the last time you heard someone with water?
Like I watched.
No, because they think it could be nitroglycerin.
Oh, yes, of
yeah.
course. Even though this nitroglycerin right here,
Like I watched a TikTok randomly popped up. It was like one of those crime shows, kind of like Cops, but they were TSA agents, and they stopped a woman that was traveling from like. It's in the same spot. I don't get it.
you're fine now.
She was traveling from like Mexico or something, right? So
Mm-hmm.
she gets stopped, and you know they're thinking, oh, cartel and stuff like that, and blah blah blah, this and that. And they were like going through her bags, and they found like instruction manuals for like microwaves or something like that. And she said that she was meeting up with a person with the cartel because he wanted those instruction manuals for some reason.
Because they put drugs inside of them.
But they didn't
ship 'em over.
find anything. And then like she was wearing shoes, but she was walking funny because her shoes were uncomfortable. And they were like, "Oh, well, she's definitely got something in her shoes." Checked her shoes, nothing. So that's what I mean. It's like
Feet.
they're like
They're very thorough.
yeah, but they pick out the people and they think the wrong things, and it's
Well,
like
now listen,
I
it
don't
does
want to deal
happen.
with that.
But let's be honest. If you go down there and you watch those guys work, I would say that they probably have a 94% correctness on when they pick people.
Not only
guy's got
that.
something. They're very, very good at what they do.
Not only that, but when you're sitting on the plane and you're about to taxi, what would you rather have? Them say, "Oh, I don't want to disturb you. Go ahead and get on," or shake down every single person that's on that plane with you.
I mean,
No.
I do get it. I really
Yeah.
do. But it's just like that's what I mean. It's like that's why I haven't flown because I'm scared to. It's like they're just so.
When I
picky.
found out that X-ray thing you stand in, and they get to see you completely naked,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I was uncomfortable. But you know what? I'd rather be uncomfortable than in a
Yeah.
fireball on the way
Dude,
to
I'm
the
just
earth.
in there going,
Yeah. I'm in there going, don't make fun.
Like I'm just worried that
Stop
I'm going
laughing
to
at me.
I'm going to be the person that brings something
Try to-
wrong
try to
on
think-
a plane. They think it's going to be some kind of bomb. When
No,
in
they'll,
reality,
they'll get you
it's
before
just-
you get on the plane.
It's just my vape, and then I
Yeah.
end up in prison for like 5 years because I tried to bring a vape on a plane. Like it scares me.
Yeah.
like, you can't say bomb on an airplane. What movie was that? And he's like, bomb, 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 bomb. It was Ben Stiller. What movie was that?
I don't know.
Was that? Oh, I think that was Meet the Parents.
Maybe.
Meet the parents.
I think it was.
Meet the parents.
Google.
Oh, there you go. Boom. See?
Meet the parents. Meet the parents.
Haha, get it? Boom, bomb.
Boom, boom, boom.
boom, boom, boom. Well,
Anyways,
I do want to bring this up because it's funny and I keep looking at it. So I'm still looking at the April Fools and brands and stuff. But Rosetta Stone and a marijuana company called Fluent teamed up and created an app. And it's a stoner lingo translation app. And it's called Rosetta Stoned. Instead of Rosetta Stone. And then that reminds me on the way here, so like on 77, 62, whatever, they have the new like LED signs, and they'll usually put up funny sayings for like drive sober, and they'll like add something to it if the holidays. Well, we all know April is 420. It's coming up with it being legalized in Ohio.
May the 4th be with you.
Now I'm trying to
may the bong.
It said I forget. It said something about being high, and then it said don't drive high. But it was, I forget what it said, but it was hilarious. So now I'm mad at myself because I can't remember what it said.
Nice job. Thanks, Captain.
We'll go to Facebook and see if anybody has a picture of it.
Oh, I'm sure somebody probably does.
Yeah.
But and click, 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 click.
And that's what we do when there's dead silence. We just make weird noises.
Fun of Matt, which I mean isn't too tough.
Right.
It's not tough to make fun of any of us.
I'm trying to find it, but now it's just popping up a bunch of them. It says don't drive Star Spangled. Don't drive Star Spangled Hammered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not gonna find it. Oh no. It was funny though.
I could never have a job like that because all my comedy is like dirty.
Yeah, I would get fired for that stuff too because I would put something stupid up there like, "Hey, dumbass, don't smoke weed and drive.
Don't drive drunk, stupid." But anyways,
don't be a dope, because only dopes smoke dope. Dun 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 dun.
Dum dum. So what do we got going on for what'd you do for Easter? Anything special?
I smoked a prime rib, and it was.
I would reword that if I was you. That did not come across.
My prime rib. I bought a prime rib at the store. Took it home, turned on my smoking device, and stuck it in there.
Oh, whoa! No matter how you say it,
it just sounds bad.
And then when I was done, I put it in the old lady's mouth.
Oh, wow.
And she said it was delicious.
Matt, did you smoke someone's prime rib?
I did not.
Oh, okay.
I smoked
everywhere I went, it was ham and turkey. Well, one place had turkey. It was ham, pretty much.
We had Mexican.
The traditional Easter food.
No. My daughter was home, and she doesn't have good Mexican restaurants in Wisconsin. So
it's okay. In Japan, they eat KFC for Christmas. So,
there you go.
It's all right.
That's true.
You can have Mexican.
I don't need a holiday to eat KFC.
So, here you go. I don't know if we talked about this last Christmas. Did you know? And I didn't know this because I don't usually make big breakfasts. But, since me and the girl got together and she's got kids, we decided for breakfast on Christmas we would make sausage gravy and biscuits. Do you know that's like a thing? Like I could not find sausage gravy mix anywhere. It was sold out everywhere, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I finally Googled. I guess Christmas Eve, that's like a big thing in certain communities to make sausage gravy and biscuits on Christmas Eve morning.
Yep.
I'm like, really?
I didn't know that.
I did not know that.
Although we need to start a new one. Let's have Christmas Eve meatloaf.
Bacon cheeseburger meatloaf?
That works for me.
We gotta do the pooping log.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
right, the poop
But
log.
we're not sticking meatloaf in my pooping log. Thank you.
Come on.
God, that also sounded bad.
That just, Jesus. Every time we try and think of do something fun, Mark's like, no.
You don't want to stick your meatloaf in
I am not sticking meatloaf in my pooping log.
Well, my meat don't love, so I guess you're lucky. Huh?
Wow. Jeez. So cringe.
Who dat?
It's like so cringe. I need like a Starbucks latte now.
A Starbucks latte?
I need to latte out. You know what I'm saying? Because that was just so cringe.
This is disgusting.
It says a gas station supplement nearly killed her. Why many won't talk about this dark secret.
Well, okay.
Well, all right then.
Thanks for the cliffhanger, because we're never going to read the rest of it.
What the heck is that? That was the supplement.
No.
What was the name of it?
I got a supplement for you.
Had just left rehab to treat her heroin addiction in 2017 when she started taking tianepatine, popularly dubbed as gas station heroin.
Well, all right. That's what I want to take.
Then the rehab didn't do its job, then did it?
No, I guess
She
not.
simply suffered through it until she could get her next high. See what I mean? people don't stop doing drugs until they want to stop doing drugs.
That's absolutely true. So here, let me ask you a question, and this is just off the top of my head. Anything like that, or even like food that's like sketchy, don't fucking buy it at a gas station.
Yeah, you don't buy gas station
Don't
sushi.
buy your generic heroin from the gas station.
That was just like when they were
Don't
selling.
buy sushi from the gas station.
Do you guys remember
No.
No, I don't remember that at all.
Spice? It was Spice or K2 is what they called
Yes.
it. Like it was basically.
Wasn't it like that was quick?
It was chemically grown marijuana.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
And they just sprayed it with a shit ton of chemicals, and it was killing people.
Oh,
Well,
well.
it would make them go nuts too. They'd
Yeah.
freak out.
And that became illegal. So
And now they have-
never trust sketchy shit.
Now they got Delta 8 and Delta 9.
Which that's a little bit more.
Which, I mean, at the same time, if you're going to buy that kind of stuff,
Just buy weed.
Go to the dispensary. Don't buy it at the friggin' gas station off a little rack that's plastic and spins, and it looks like the whole thing costs 18 cents.
Get your bud. Gas station bud.
Let's be honest, because if a guy's got a display like that, they probably have about the same amount of money in research and development and testing, and now you're just a guinea pig.
Who would have thought, though? Who would have thought that we're talking about drugs and using words research and testing?
Well, listen, they do it. They do it.
I know they do now.
Dude, some of these headlines, it's sad. The people reach so far to make a headline.
Oh, yeah.
They're talking about Rebel Wilson losing her virginity at 35. Who cares?
Right.
Why
she's
do you have to
happy,
make that a headline?
Someone will click on that.
If she's happy,
Me.
he gives a fuck.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, he
But
wouldn't
it's
know.
just, it's sad. You know, they're people too. Maybe she had a thing. Like, I don't.
Or maybe
who
she just
cares?
didn't meet the right girl or guy or
Right.
whatever. I don't know who
What
she
if it's
dates.
a lie?
Oh my God, that
She
could
just
be
didn't
too.
tell everybody the first time she had sex.
That could be. That could be too.
It falls under mind your own business.
It's just, it's sad.
It is.
Yeah,
Speaking of which,
that's okay.
speaking of sad, one of these podcasts, and the sooner we start collecting the evidence, the better. One of these podcasts, I want to talk about the unrealistic goals that companies have for their new hires.
Okay.
Some of these ads that you see on Indeed and that are so ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
like a general labor job, but they want you to have a degree of some sort,
Right. I was.
and
on
it's
there.
getting stupid.
What's that one for Little Caesars? Just go ahead and just throw it out there.
I wasn't gonna name drop because I was afraid of getting sued, but fuck it. So I didn't. I
Shit,
did,
they're going to send us a cease and desist.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't save it, so I don't have proof. But you can take my word for it, or you can think I'm lying. But Little Caesars had an ad for a general position, which is making pizzas, but you had to have purchaser experience to make pizzas. You had to have experience. So let's say if you had a job where you purchase stuff like supplies or whatnot, would you go backwards and get a job at Little Caesars?
No. What's like? Listen, I was looking the other day too, like just that stuff because my roommate's looking for a job and he's got a CDL. I was just kind of looking through to kind of help him find driving jobs, and there's one up for a power equipment company that's looking for a Class B CDL driver. Pays $14 an hour.
Oh my god!
And I'm like, who the hell's going to drive a truck for? So you start reading it, and well, you only drive about 10% of the time. The rest of the time, you're washing mowers and putting them, back in and out. It's basically a lot position, but you got to have a Class B CDL.
Yeah.
Are you freaking kidding me?
They don't understand. I'm telling you.
Who would a Class B CDL that can make $29 an hour rolling a garbage truck is going to go there and work for $14 an hour?
I know, and I had one person at work. So whether they knew what they were talking about or not is up for debate. But this person said, because I told him, I said, if you see an ad that's ridiculous, screenshot it and send it to me through text. And he said, I wouldn't do that if I were you, because if you start making fun of these companies, especially local companies, he said, you'll never get a job again.
And that's true.
And I said, you know what? It has to be brought out into the open. These companies, and I know what it is. This is my theory. They hire college-educated intellectuals into the HR positions, and these guys spent the money, went to college, so they only want to hire people who spent the money and went
Right.
to college. And everyone else can just go F themselves, right? And I'm just like, no, you can't do that. You have to have general labor positions, and
It's funny.
why would, if you have a degree, and everybody who has a degree is like, I'm not working for pennies, I went to college.
It's
So they're
fu-
shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
It's funny we're talking about this, and then this comes up. A fast food chain is raising in California is raising their minimum wage from $16 an hour to $20 an hour. That right there is part of the reason I feel like
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Unreal
beca-
expectations.
Yeah.
What's like the other day?
If you work at McDonald's, I'm sorry, you don't deserve $20 an hour. Get a better job.
Listen, let's say, and here we go talking about Oregon, but it was like 2 weeks ago when the OM was there, and I was like, look, we need to do some about the gun situation, the RF gun situation. She's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, we have to go clear across the building to get enough to do our job.
Yeah.
And she just looks at me, and I'm like, and we don't have overtime people here, and we're out. What are you going to do when you start rolling all this overtime and there's a 30, 40, 50 extra people in the friggin' building?
It's going to be bad.
Oh, well, thanks for bringing that up. And I'm like,
It'll never
oh
change.
my God, are you kidding me? Nobody even thought to think about this?
I know. And then they wonder why we get so mad. It's like some of this stuff you guys should have thought of. You should have thought of area to train on forklifts when you designed a building.
Well, yeah. And now you do it out front and people are crashing into outside contractors' friggin' stuff.
It's like, and then they get so butthurt when we look at them and say, "What is wrong with you? This is common sense stuff." But I'm done, man. I mean, I'm sure that no matter where I go, I'm going to run into that. But
I mean, you're always
the
gonna have
company.
something,
I'm done, man. I'm done looking at them like, how many people are upper at this company? How many management? And not a single one of you thought of that?
I don't understand. Even people that aren't up, like just general supervisors, that every day hear, oh, I'll be back in a few minutes. I gotta go all the way to receiving to get an RF gun.
Yeah.
Why aren't they saying, hey man, we're low on guns? What's the deal? Because the basic problem was when they retired all those older trucks, they took all the regular like mounted ones off, and the new ones don't have them. So now all those people have to get handheld guns too, and that's what the problem is. If they would put all those 15 or 20 ones back on trucks, you'd probably be just fine.
Right.
But even when they took those off there, that should have been like, hey, if we take all these off, are we going to have enough of the other to cover? Like, that is a question that should have came up.
Yeah.
Even when they were, like, when they come and started ripping them all off the old trucks that they were getting rid of.
Which makes me ask the question, what did they learn in college? If they're making these bad, just uneducated decisions when they're putting a building together, what did you go to college? What did you learn in college? I literally think they only learned how to make excuses. Clever, you can't argue with excuses.
Well, and the thing
Because I don't see anything else. I see no education. I don't see good decisions being made. And I don't see any real planning. It's just wing it because I went to college.
Well, the thing is, I get, like, to a certain extent, because they're like, oh, we got to make sure that we have enough equipment to do the job. And they make sure we have enough trucks, like lift trucks and whatnot. But that's not everything we need to do the job.
Right.
Finish that sentence.
Yeah.
It's kind of what it is. You know what I mean?
Make a to-do list.
Yeah. Make the trucks that you have coming in usable. I mean...
Well, just usable. The fact that it's the company's job to give you the equipment to do the job.
Right.
Period. You know?
Yeah.
If you need an RF scanner, I don't call it a gun because it's not a fucking gun. If you need an RF scanner to do your job, there should be enough. And they should work.
Yeah.
Period.
But they don't.
Yeah. So it's just it's like common sense and or brainstorming has been replaced with college educated absolutism. And I think it's a very serious downward trend. I mean, right now Matt's confused by the bottom of his laptop.
I was going to say,
and he's the only one here that's going to college.
He's dishing wages. Whoa.
why are there cents in the bottom of this?
But it's like, I don't know.
And by the way, everybody that complains about us talking about work stuff, the only reason we do that is because it's what we have in common here. It's not, but we're just saying that it's.
But it's
it
also
also
a trend
plays
that
in.
happens in every company.
Yeah, it plays in
does.
with what
Yeah.
we
And
were
that's what I'm
Any
saying.
blue collar person would sit here and
Say that kind of stuff happens
Right.
where I work too.
Yeah.
I swear to you, can make fun all you want. You can look down at me, look down your nose at me because I didn't go to college. But most of the people that I met, what goes to college, are some of the dumbest people I've met.
Right.
Thanks.
No, I'm just saying.
No, I get it.
Well, you're not done yet, so you're not done yet.
Yeah, they
You're
haven't.
only halfway done.
By the time
They haven't
I'm-
stupefied you completely yet.
By the time I'm done and walking across that stage, I'm like, thanks. Thanks for the diploma.
Get off stage, you drooling fool.
I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I think this kind of stuff happens everywhere. I don't think it's just. But like I said, when people get mad, we talk about where we work. It's just because it's our experience.
And it's our examples.
And we've been there since
I can't
day
put-
one, pretty much.
Yeah, I can't use an example at a company I don't work at.
Exactly. So
I got to use
it.
the examples that I'm exposed to. And I guess that's our point. Is this building that we work at, we were the first wave of employees. Everything was new. The equipment was new. The building was new. It all was designed. And they designed it enough to put air conditioning in it They designed it
Yeah.
enough to put solar panels on top, so we wouldn't.
650 million kilowatts a year of solar power.
Right.
And it's
So
funny.
they took time to think about the carbon footprint, but they didn't take time to think about the equipment we need to use to do the job the building was
Right.
built to do. Okay.
Exactly.
It boggles me. It's like they were so busy at being either A, woke, because and I find that hard to believe because it's not really a woke company,
Yeah.
or they're trying to please some politician, and in so doing they spent more time thinking about that shit than they did, well, let's get equipment that won't hurt our employees' feet. Failed at that. Let's get enough RF scanners so every single employee can scan the labels that they need to scan. They're
Right.
failing at that. It's just, let's get enough bathrooms. They
Yes.
failed
Oh.
at that.
Yeah.
Dude,
The whole bathroom situation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
don't
two.
even-
There's two because we're not really supposed to use maintenance as bathroom, but we
but
do.
everybody, yeah.
Yeah.
But there's two, and we're talking about a building that's so big that it takes you 15 minutes to walk around it.
No, if you walk completely around the building, it says it should take 25 minutes.
Oh yeah, it's definitely more.
That when they first
That's just
opened
what
up,
it
that
said
was-
on the TV.
Yeah,
so.
it was supposed to be 20-some minutes because if you walk around the building, you have to go around all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
That should be 25 minutes. But
But
I'm with
there's
you.
two bathrooms.
Well, here's the thing. It's designed to have 800 employees at a time or something like that.
I thought it was 450, but
No,
600.
that's per shift. I'm saying 800
Okay.
per day.
Yeah.
So at 800 people per day, you're going to say that the majority of those people are going to be men because of the type of work. I'm not saying there aren't women there. And there's 6 toilets in one bathroom and 4 in the other.
Yeah.
For 400 people.
Yeah, I know. They really dropped the ball. And then, and I don't blame the company for this, then you have to factor in the piss poor construction quality that building was built.
Oh, dude.
Almost all of the air conditioning units in the ceiling leak when it rains. Now, again, that's not the company's fault, but someone should have been on the phone saying, "I want our money back," or "I want partial money back because this building's a piece of junk."
Wait, it's like a piece of Swiss cheese.
It's just I'm not high enough to stress myself out about it, so I'm doing this. I'm
Start smoking some weed. You'll be fine.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm not
It's-
advocating smoking weed. I'm just being an asshole. But I just, yeah, no, I mean, and like I say, and anywhere you go, you're going to have those problems. But like to me, like I talked to the OM the other day. I said, look, I said, I'm just done. And she's like, what? I said, I'm done riding these trucks.
Yeah.
I said, I'm old. I'm grouchy. I hurt. And then I tried to explain to her, it was tough because she's always on the move. But like I tried to tell her, like if it was just the fact that it's painful for me to ride on these things because I'm getting old, but everything else worked correctly. Like the workflow was right when you
Yeah.
got stuff. It was the way it was supposed to be. I would probably be fine. Or if it was the other way around, if this was
Voluntary overtime instead of mandatory because there is enough people who will volunteer.
but like I said, or you have like
That
this,
right there.
This part
I
right
was
here.
yawning. Sorry, I was trying to get it out.
I thought he was
but-
having a fit.
But I say, or if it was like the stuff that comes isn't right, but you could ride around all day and not end up being sore and angry,
Yeah.
because your body hurts.
Yeah.
If it was one or the other, I think I'd be okay. But since it's both all day, every day, I'm just done. I'm like, I told
It
her, I said-
hurts, man. There's only so much, and when you know the pain will never, like my feet with the equipment. I don't know whose fault that was. I don't know if it was Crown or if it was the company we work for, but I have all the years that I have been on that kind of equipment.
Yeah.
I have never had a piece of equipment hurt my feet.
My knees is what. My
Yeah,
knees
because
are
they
the
didn't
worst
give
for
you
me.
enough room to actually move your feet anywhere. And then the safety pedal is this huge brick
Yeah.
that sticks about an inch and a half up, and your feet just start to ache after
Well,
about 3 hours, and you're there for 10.
Well, see, but the problem with those are, and this is the issue. This is why I think your feet hurt on that particular piece of equipment, is those pedals are so sensitive. If you just take weight off of one foot
Oh,
and leave it
yeah.
planted, so
They
it's
shut
still,
down.
they turn off. So
Right.
you have to keep
All the time,
all the time
You
weight
can't-
on both feet.
and you can't adjust. As
Right,
soon
and
as
if
you
could
adjust,
just have your foot there and it held it down, and if you pick your foot up, then the dead man brake comes on.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could do that because then you could switch your weight around, like you say, you could adjust or whatever, but you can't. It's always all exactly in the same exact
so
spot.
every single day, you either, like me, you spend $1,000 on shoes and insoles, which didn't work.
Yeah,
I spent $1,000 to work there.
or you spend $300 a month on ibuprofen.
Right, and you just dope up, and then your feet still hurt. They just don't hurt as much. To me, it's not enough. The pay is not enough. The aggravation's not enough. I'm out.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. If it was all aggravation and I didn't hurt and I would be okay. Or if it was all my feet and legs just hurt, but there's zero aggravation, I think I would be okay.
Yeah.
But since it's 10 hours, 42, 43 hours every week of the same, just non-stop, relentless. Like I told Dan the other day, I said, I think I'm done. I think this is going to be the last person I train. He's like, why? And I said, because I'm tired of saying, we're not supposed to do this like
But
this.
we have to
because
do it
it's
this way.
supposed to be done like this, but we have to do this because those people aren't bringing stuff the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
The other day, I just found a pallet that had ATF on it, and it was from rack, and it was mixed with food. I told Dan about it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not okay.
Yeah,
No, it's
but
not.
that doesn't happen every day.
No.
You have to understand there will be mistakes made. We're talking
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
the stuff that they just couldn't care less and they're not going to
Yeah.
fix.
Right, and the one that drives me the most crazy, I mean, the fact that they're not building some of the skids right is one. But when
The
these
training.
kids come over every day and they're like, oh, I only got 3 of these things, I'm going to just throw it on with this crap. And
Yeah.
they never check to see if it's even the same store, same door, anything. They just
throw it on there.
and drive away.
Put buckets on top of feed, which you're not supposed to do. Anyways.
Just
I understand we're talking about work again, but we're talking about how a little bit of work effort on management's part can take care of 90% of this.
And I don't think, like I say, and it's not just for work. These are just the examples of what we see.
Have you noticed when we were young, I know you're young, when we were young, going to a supervisor position was higher up in scale and in money because it was more responsibility.
Yes.
So you went from general labor, which you didn't have a lot of responsibility, you just had to do things what you were told. Then you went to supervisor. Now you're in charge of people.
Yep.
And that's why you got paid more, because you have more responsibility. You can get in trouble more. But nowadays, people think that going to a supervisor position means less work. Oh, no,
Right.
I'm working to get supervisor, so I don't have to work as hard.
Well,
Are you
here's-
nuts?
I
That's
heard
not
a
how
guy-
it works.
I heard a guy on a TV show one time, and he worked. It was supposed to be. It was like a cop show, and he said that's the problem with middle management. You have just enough power that you're going to eat shit when something goes wrong, but not enough power to tell somebody to go fuck themselves when they fuck you in the ass and make their problem yours. And that's basically it.
Yeah. It's how business is conducted nowadays is just broken.
Yeah.
And people like us see it. It's like, all I want to do is show up. I love this. I'll explain in a second. All I want to do is show up. I want to show up. I want to do my job the way I'm supposed to. I want to know how to do my job. I want to know how it's done correctly, not just find out yourself. And then I want to clock out and go home. I don't want to work over because my time at home is more important. And what kills me, and this whole ideology of psychology to get the maximum amount of performance out of your employees,
Yes.
it doesn't work. That whole bubble is dependent on the idea that your employee is so stupid that they won't know you're using psychology to pump them up every single day. Like this, like the example that you see all over Instagram when people say, if your employer says we're a family, that's a red flag. And it is, because what that means is we're a family, so you're going to get fucked so I can look better because we're a family. And it doesn't work. We all know it's bullshit.
Right.
We're not a family. You're not my family. I work for you. I clock in, I do a specific job or a couple of jobs, whatever, but I have to know how to do them. And then I clock out and I go home. I'm not going to spend more time here because my family's more important than you. And until we get back to that basics,
Right.
it's always going to be this fight against employee against employer. There's a revolving door of employees, which actually damages companies, even though they won't admit it, because you always have new people that make mistakes, and the good and experienced people leave because they're tired of getting screwed.
Right.
The system is broken, and I blame college.
Well, I don't know. If
And
it's
I would love for
necessary
you guys
for
to
this.
prove me wrong or argue with me. I welcome any and all arguments. I love being educated, but until someone tells me I'm wrong, that's what I think. I blame college.
Like I say, I think it's part of it, and I think the other part of it is it's to the point now where, like he was saying earlier, these minimum wages and what they pay people are rising at such an alarming rate, and the pay scales are jumping so far. For them to still be able to make the profits that they do, they have no choice but try to make them people do more and more and more.
That's true.
But then you get the people that are used to that, and
Yeah.
then they feel
And then the biggest problem you have too, and this is just a generalized statement. I'm not saying anybody's doing anything wrong, But we've always, since I was a kid, and my grandparents, they always said that everything that they do in life is so their kids don't have to go through the same stuff that they did, which is
But
fine.
working
But
isn't that bad.
Right, but we're to the point now where, like, somebody I know was looking for a job, and I'm like, oh, well, we're hiring where I work. This is probably what they would have to do, whatever. And his girlfriend's like, I don't want him to have to throw bags all day. That's not right. And I'm like,
That's what I mean. It's like people feel
I said,
entitled
first of all, he's
almost.
not 50
Yeah.
like me. I said, this kid's 22 years old.
Yeah.
He's built like friggin' The Rock.
Yeah.
Throwing bags all day ain't gonna hurt this kid. You don't want him to throw 50-pound bags of food, but you'll send him to the gym for 3 hours every day.
Not only
That's
that,
okay.
but think about roofers.
Yeah, I don't
I mean, the
understand.
reason roofer gets paid so much is because they're in the weather, including the hot sun.
Right.
They could fall and die.
Right.
And what are we going to do? Get rid of roofers? No, you can't. Someone has to do that work. So throwing bags is quite a safe job.
Right.
You don't have to go that fast. It just really hurts for people our age.
It sucks for people, and that's just it. And
It's
that's
not-
the other thing too. Like, it used to be, no matter what you did, if you and I went to a company that was new, we wouldn't be put in a position like that. They would be like, okay, this guy's a little old. We're not going to throw him in the most physical job we got. We're going to put him over here. He's got experience. He
Right.
can do this. Instead
Well,
of
also,
that.
we would apply for a certain position.
Exactly.
Like, that's
Now-
why I got mad at Gojo. I applied to be a reach truck driver. They hired me as a reach truck driver. 3 weeks in, they put me in picking or order fill.
order fill.
And that I couldn't do. Physically, I couldn't do it. I
Right.
did it. I did it for 10 hours, but then I was limping and running home to Epsom salts every night. And I'm thinking to myself, what a bait and switch. I didn't apply
Right.
for that position. I didn't interview for that position. I would have told them, I can't do that. I can do it for an hour once a week. I can do it for an hour,
Right.
maybe 2 hours twice a week.
Well, it's like
but
us
10 hours for
when
4
they-
days a week, I
yeah.
can't do that.
The whole LDPA situation with me and him when they sent us over there. Can we do that job? Absolutely. Can we do it as well as the guys that are over there? Absolutely. I can only do it that well because that's what I used to do somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I
That's
understand.
not what I got hired for.
Yeah, and that isn't. And I told them when I came there, I said, "This is not what I want to do." And they're like, "No problem. With your experience, we want you in this department anyway." And what happened last summer? For 3.5, 4 months, I
Yeah.
was stuck
In LD every single night.
every single day until I got to the point where I said, "That's it. I'm looking for another job." I'm like, "Oh, well, we can't have you do that." And then they put me back where I was supposed to be.
Right,
And
and
then
then,
they
and then
took me-
somehow we're just supposed to ignore the fact that if you threaten them, then all of a sudden you get what you want. That's not
Sad.
supposed to
And
happen.
I wasn't threatening anybody. I
You
felt
know
like-
what I mean, though. You said
Yeah.
I'm quitting if they don't do it, and then all of a sudden you were back where you
I didn't even
belong.
say that. I just told Dan. I said, "Look, hey, thanks for being cool and everything, but I'm gonna start looking for a new job when I get home." And he's like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Because I don't want to be over here in this department. I freaking hate it over here. I've been screaming and yelling to get me out of here for 2 months, and I'm still here every single day."
Yeah.
He's like, "Okay, fine. I'll bring you back. You won't have to come over ever again." And I'm like, "I don't mind coming over every once in a while. I don't mind helping."
Yeah.
Because that happens. I mean, sometimes
know what's
other
really
departments
sad?
need help, but I don't want to live over here.
When I don't think of things all the time, and I did think of this when Dan was on vacation and Corey was there. And I told Corey, I said, "You're here for the rest of the week." I said, "Look, if they need someone in LDPA, let me know, because if I don't use the skill, I lose it." And it had been, 8 months since I've been on a reach.
High Rich, yeah.
Yeah, high reach. So I said, if that comes up, let me know, and then I'll do it at least for a night. That way I can keep that, because I'm really good at it.
Yeah.
I can zip in and zip out without hitting anything. And it never happened, but whatever.
Like I said, I don't know. My biggest issue
But
is
they just sent you guys. They could have sent me one of those
Yeah.
nights, but they sent you guys.
Yeah. Well, and then I don't know. The other thing too that we have issue with is, like I said, just the micromanagement of a couple of the supervisors are just terrible. Not all of them.
I'm listening. I'm just filling my time.
Is that clean enough for you yet, sir?
You just like see all them fingerprints.
Jesus.
All right, anyways.
At least we got some physical humor in the show now.
Yeah, there we go. He's always good for a laugh. Yeah, there. The whole violent sniff.
Yeah.
Saw, dude. But anyways.
But yeah, I don't know. Like I say, that's irritating too. And like I say, I'm sure that that's a problem everywhere. Comment. Let us know if you have the same issue of micromanagement.
Please just comment. Even if
Yeah.
it's to tell us to shut up again. Just say something. Because
Like-
my last plead for comments failed.
It did. I don't know. But yeah.
Nobody wants to comment. Oh, well.
Oh.
I mean, I've started streaming again recently, playing video games, and I have that issue as well. Like last night I was streaming and I got up to like 10 viewers. Not a single person said one thing.
I know.
They
Like,
just watch
okay.
you.
I almost wonder if it's not actual viewers, if it's people watching our content to use it in their own.
Well, that happens too. Or if it's even like, especially with
Like
things
we
like
don't
this,
have
is
real viewers. We have people looking for
Is
content.
it somebody from YouTube that's watching our stuff to see if we say the wrong thing so they can?
Or it could just be
Yeah.
bots, you know,
Oh,
trying to
yeah, that's even
up your
worse.
viewers now, blah blah blah, and give me your credit card information
Yeah.
type of
Yeah.
deal too. I mean,
That would really suck. That would be like the salt in the wound.
I will say, I do think we are getting, because you can look in statistics and stuff on the videos, and it'll tell you genuine viewers versus like actual
Yeah, yeah.
viewers.
I'll have to do
Because
that.
like most bots will watch like the first couple minutes, and if they don't see anything that you're gonna like fall for their scam, they'll stop watching.
Yeah.
But then you have the people that watch. I think it's like 10 plus minutes or 20 plus minutes. That's what they considered like the actual viewership.
Yeah, we were talking about
So-
like the sweet spot on lengths of things. Remember, it's kind of what he's talking about too.
Yeah.
Same thing.
So like you can definitely tell. It'll tell you like what kind of
Statistically, they're figuring out who's who and
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're 9 minutes over, so
Oh my God, not 9 whole minutes. 9 minutes 48 seconds.
49, 50, 51.
Oh, that's it.
52.
We're gonna be
Oh,
we're
10
gonna be
minutes
10
over.
minutes over. That's it. We
Ah,
can't have
crap.
that.
All right,
Cheese and rice.
I know. Thanks for watching, peeps. And I know we talked about work again, but I still believe there's blue-collar people out there that can agree, disagree, and that's who we're talking to. We're talking to regular people, not troublemakers, not politicians,
Right.
regular people.
Although, hey, if you're a politician and you think you can answer some of these questions, go for it.
That would be
Yeah.
perfect.
If you went to college and you're offended that don't like the fact you went to college, hit me up. I'm not afraid. I'm also not arrogant. I could be wrong, but I need to hear it. I'm not just gonna,
Right.
I don't know, fold to a text from some guy who went to college and feels he's superior because he spent 60 grand on a piece of paper.
Well, see, and that's the other thing I was going to tell you, and we kind of missed it.
And if you're a doctor and a lawyer, I'm glad you went to college.
Yeah, but the other thing too is with the supervisor thing, like, and not so much supervisors, but the upper management. I feel like these days, because it's happened in like 3 or 4 of the companies I've worked for, those guys are very good at taking a suggestion or a question you have and twisting it into a way that when it's over, you feel like an asshole.
Yeah.
For asking a general question.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Or look,
they get clever.
and they want you to look stupid.
Yeah, they get clever, especially with words. That's what I
Yes.
mean. That's what I meant when I say college teaches you how to make clever excuses. It's like with that one guy we talked about. We kept telling him our problems over and over, and all he was saying was these clever excuses about everyone's new and you need to be more. If you think about what he said, he was always just saying it's our fault.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be complaining. We should be stepping up and doing it for him.
Right.
But over time, you're like, wait a minute.
They'll never
I step
change
up,
if we
I
do
step
it for
up
'em.
every single day, and I'm doing 2 jobs. Not just mine, I'm doing their job too.
Right.
But you complain and that, oh, well, let me just politician this around to make you feel like you need to do more and get you excited to work fair. So I'll be excited if I can just come in, do my job, get paid, go home.
Right.
That gets me excited. Coming in, getting abused for 10 hours, limping on my way out of there, and then hearing how I should just step up and be more of an employee so you can look good
Right.
at the expense of my pain, whatever.
What's like what I went off on the dude the other day about some of that stuff? I'm like,
I guess we're still going.
yeah. Well, anyway, this particular department, they make extra money every hour because of what the job that they do.
Yeah.
But they leave all this stupid stuff that they're supposed to do behind.
Yeah.
That we now have to clean up after. Why are they making more money for me to have to wipe their nose?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a mess. But anyways, if you have a similar story, you can put it in the comments at YouTube. You can put it on if you go to the first page of our website and scroll down, there's an area. Let us know. Tell us your story.
Yeah.
If hell, maybe we'll invite you on and you can tell the story. I mean,
Absolutely.
we love this kind of stuff. We love sticking up for people who doesn't have a voice and don't have a platform and it's just fed up.
We like sticking it to the man.
Listen, you can stick it to any man you want. I'm gonna be over here in the corner looking the other direction.
Anyways, all right, peeps. Thanks for listening. And
Have a
we
good
will-
week, guys.
We'll catch you later.